My father was kind of led a life of addiction. I guess he was abusive to my mom, so I could really see like where loneliness and like isolation took a kind of like a foothold or whatever. And even as a little kid, we moved a lot, and like I said, that was like tough. Always have to remake friends and all that. And as I got into my teenage years, there was this void by not having a father and not knowing how to be a man. And all my older cousins I thought were cool, and I looked up to them, and they were involved in drugs, partying, and they were already in gangs. And like I said, like that's what I thought was what it looked like to become a man. I started partying and getting into drugs, drinking and smoking weed at like 12. When I was like 15, I started doing methamphetamines. That's where my life really went off in the deep end. I used to sell drugs to stay high, and led me down a path of darkness. It literally took me to prison, like physical prison, but also I wasn't happy anymore. I was just in a prison in my own head. Also, I was stuck. I think it was 2016. I was at the end of myself. It was where I had to be honest with myself. I couldn't blame anybody anymore, and I just opened the Bible for the first time, and I read Matthew, and I remember I was just breaking down, crying, and I gave my life to Christ there, and but I didn't do the community part when I got out. I tried to do everything in my own strength, and I fell short, And when I fell, the enemy used that shame and guilt to hold me down, and I thought I could never serve this perfect God because I could never be perfect. And I fell away from the faith till 2022, and I was in a similar situation and crying out to God, knowing that that's where I fell short, knowing that I had to do the community. And so I promised God, I said, God, if you get me out of this situation again, I'll seek you wholeheartedly, and I will do the community part. I will reach out for help, because obviously I can't do it by myself. I got out to a program called Gateway of Hope. It's a sober living for men, and that was a blessing. That really equipped me to learn how to pursue those relationships with godly men. I just needed that stuff that convicted me and challenged me, and I believe like that's what really walking with God is, is like He's purifying us, and He's challenging us. So that's why I picked Veneration. The preaching really just challenges me, and the community is awesome too. I've been like welcomed with open arms, and that's what I need in my walk. And I read in Psalm 107, verse 2, it said, "Let the redeemed tell their story," And I read that yesterday, and it's like, all right, God, that you're speaking to me clear as day, like sometimes I could get ashamed of my past, but I think I owe God to tell people where He's brought me from, like I was hopeless, didn't care if I lived or died, and now I have a hope, I have a peace, I have love in Jesus,